Kristen. This is Rachel from RightStart. I wanted to walk you through how to find the midpoint on any line in a given shape using the strategy as mentioned in lesson 60 of level G. I am working on worksheet 60, but the process will be the same regardless of what worksheet and which shape you're actually trying to find the midpoint for. So the first step, I'm going to walk through finding the midpoint for each of these lines. The first step, according to lesson 60, to find the midpoint is to draw a line separate from the shape that's in this triangle. So I'm going to draw a line down here, and I'm going to make it longer than the shape, the longest line here. All right, so you can see I have an extra line here. My first step then, or my next step after that, is to draw a marking tag, kind of like a little tick mark here on each of the points. So I'm going to line up my triangle, my 45 triangle, and I'm going to mark the points. So there's one point. Here is another point, and then here is my third point. Okay, so as you can see, I have one line and I have 3 marks on that line representing each of these distance for each of these lines, or vertex points. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the midpoint for this line, which has the end marker here and here, right? So I'm going to, again, take my 45 triangle, and I'm going to line it up with the angle side, the hypotenuse side out, and I'm going to line it up from this tick mark here, and I'm going to kind of just have a lightly shaded line up here on top. So you can kind of see where I have that, right? Oops, I'm kind of like shifting all over the place. Sorry about that. All right, so then I'm going to do the same thing, flip my triangle over, and I'm going to line it up with this end mark, and again, do that. Now, I see where these 2 lines cross. Where those 2 lines cross is the midpoint. So now I'm just going to line up my straight edge, and remember I'm working on this line right here. So I am going to line that up, and this mark right here is the midpoint of that line. Let's do another one. Let's do the harder one. The harder one, and let me see if I can't straighten this out just a little bit because I am slipping and sliding everywhere. Okay, so now I'm going to do this line, which is much shorter and a steeper angle. Again, I'm going to look at the points, this point here and this point here. And I'm going to take my triangle, the hypotenuse side, line it up, and draw a very lightly shaded line here, and do the same thing, flip it over, and here. This is going to be the midpoint. So now I'm going to put my straight edge, line that up, and this is halfway, midpoint. Now, of course, the wider one, the one that's horizontal to the paper, is a little easier, but I'm still going to use that same strategy. I'm going to take my 45 triangle, start from one side, line it up, that line, and then over here, line that up. This is going to be the midpoint for this bottom line. So I'm going to line that up. And there you go. So now I have all of my midpoints for each of these lines, or this one here, each of these lines of this triangle. I have that midpoint. I hope that helps. If you have any other questions, though, just let me know. Have a great day. Bye-bye.